Cohort of the 8th. Not to be confused with the 7th. This is the 8th one. Last we met, you were investigating Vandalin, having made a contact at Acquisitions Incorporated, Archivist Melvara. Decided differently and did indeed set you on a task to await at the Stonehill Inn for a contact, one of the red brands that she's close to. She told you that all 33 red brands were contracted for this big job that suddenly was pulled. Sort of coincidentally, right when you arrived. It may be a coincidence, but it also may be suspicious. You were tasked with finding out why and why this contact was so nervous. And as the weather sort of turned violently cold and snow began to cover the town, you entered Stonehill Inn and awaited this contact. And many came in, protecting themselves from this storm that hit Vandalin. And as the room filled, you met and had a long conversation with somebody that went by the name of Clegg, one of the red brands, one of the sergeants. And he introduced you to his fellow red brands, and you all kind of relaxed and conversed until the one lonely red brand sitting alone, who you now know goes by the name Brannick, coughed up blood and fell over dead. The cohort, as well as Clegg, began to investigate, and it seemed that nobody was kind of willing to come forward with information until Godfrey and Helmirk questioned Pip, the young Stonehill boy who did reveal that Clegg was the one that poisoned Brannick's cup when he wasn't looking. Casta and Clegg had an argument in Thieves' Cant, and his last words were, "I ain't giving you shit," when she took 2 daggers and killed him on the spot. She then said it was Clegg that poisoned Brannick and left the inn to search for Orin and Varn. Orin and Varn left the inn seeking out Sylvan that disappeared. Helmirk and Godfrey, you followed behind, and you found about a quarter mile down the road. So you are at the kind of outskirts of Vandalin. Some kind of fight broke out, and you see Sylcan lying down, face down in the snow, just mechanically destroyed, with several sort of massive tears in his form, pieces of his frame separated. There also seems to be 7 others, red brand, that are also just covered in crimson and just fallen where they lie. There's also one young woman dressed in very warm coats that also seems like met her end. In front of you is a veteran that is sort of standing on one knee in the snow, leaning on his blade that is stabbed into the frozen earth. These massive deep breaths that he's kind of billowing that cooled steam into the wind from his open mouth and nose. He looks over at the 3 of you, exhausted. Looks at Helmirk, Godfrey, and then Casta. And he sort of smirks when he makes eye contact with her, and then spits that crimson from his mouth across the clean snow to the side of him, and the warm blood kind of melts those droplet shapes into the snow, leaving that little bit of impression. The heavy snowfall doing all it can to slowly cover up what took place here moments before. He grunts and stands up, pulling his sword from the earth, and then points it at Casta. And you see him shivering in the freeze. He's not in what you would expect his attire to be. He's in comfy clothes. So he's shivering, but his voice is very solid. And just looks at her and goes, "Don't you move." And she goes, what did I do? And he goes, what did I do? What did you do? She goes, they were ordered to stand down. He goes, then your people can add insubordination to the list of things they died for tonight. She goes, those men were under contract. Those men broke into my home, tied me like an animal, dragged me into the dark, put 2 people in chains, spared me the dignity of your paperwork. She goes, I have no idea what you think this turned into. And he goes, no, you don't. I was on my knees in the snow with a gag in my fucking mouth while that warforged tore through the mercenaries one by one and brought me enough time to break free. I watched him bleed for people he didn't even know. So don't stand there and speak to me about what this is. She takes a moment and she goes, Inspector Malus was a government official that you killed. And he goes, then you should have remembered how government officials are meant to behave. She says, you think this ends in Phandalin?
While she's talking, Helmirk, as soon as he realizes that guy wasn't the one who did it, Helmirk turns and fast as a whip, grabs her by the throat and is going to lift her up.
As Helmirk does that, Godfrey's going to rush to Sylcan, scooping him up in his arms.
Okay. Helmirk, I need you to make a, let's go ahead and do, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Me and Jin
Do I
just
have
vibing.
advantage because she's not expecting it? She's mid-conversation.
What if I bardically inspire him?
You're not a quarter mile away.
Yeah, but you remember my song and it inspires you.
While it is true that she is distracted, but times are tough, I'll give it to you.
Oh! I don't think I can get higher, but... Okay, 29.
29?
I have a plus 11 to athletics.
No,
Just
I know, but
crushed her spine.
usually when you roll low. Okay.
I changed out my dice finally.
She rolled high, but not 29 high. So you go to grab her. She reacts. She physically sees you coming. She's trained for this. She backs up. Your hand continues and grabs her and picks her up. How tight are you? Are you just gripping her to like gain control of her, or are you like cutting?
No, I'm not choking her. I'm holding her.
Okay.
But like he's like it's very apparent that like he is seconds away from just like cracking her neck and throwing her down.
Okay. She grabs your hand obviously and pulls it away enough to where she can like take deep breaths in, and you feel that sort of swallowing and that gasping of air in the soft part of your hand. And you hear him kind of stand up and goes, don't kill her. I can tell you both aren't in uniform. Don't kill her. She has information. Godfrey, as you walk over where Sylcan is, Sildar goes, he would in this moment. He would go, you wait. This man put his life on the line for me and saved me. And he goes over and scoops him up carefully and kind of holds him. And there's a moment he kind of just stares at this being, sort of flipping him over in the snow and then pulling him up face up. After that moment of silence, he looks at you, Godfrey, and he goes, the woman in the coats, grab her. I suspect that she has things that we need to see on her person. We'll go inside. And he begins to walk. And as he gets close to you, Helmirk, he goes, bring her. She has information.
Helmirk is like, you guys I think have seen Helmirk mad, like in a fight or someone says something. Helmirk is like full like fury. His chest is heaving. It's almost hard to see if he is just fuming or if he's sobbing. And he looks at this woman and he looks at the man. I need one reason why I should not kill her and drag every red brand through the streets by their guts.
So
I
as
was-
she's holding onto your forearm and kind of pulling your arm away, she goes, "Look, I killed the guy that was responsible for this, okay? We didn't know. Let me get through this with you. We're on the same team."
Ooh. He's gonna
And she just
eye
looks
her.
at you and she just goes, "I can prove it. Just give me a moment."
As Godfrey goes to pick up the girl with the coat, he turns back, addressing Helmirk, and he goes, "Brother, we have lost a member of the cohort. It is proper that we do good investigation to find out who is rightfully in need of punishment. Place her down."
Helmirk is kind of like, again, heaving, and he just stands still for a moment and fine, and he kind of almost tosses her to the snow, and he's gonna go to the mat, and he's gonna very gently kind of like touch Sylcan's head, and he's gonna say, this was my soldier. Want me to carry him?"
He hands her over.
Helmirk almost like reverently kind of holds Sylcan. And he's gonna kind of like look at the wounds, look at the blood in the bodies. And he's gonna nod. "Fine battle." He looks towards the man. "Did he fight well?"
Yeah. And he looks at you and then over at Godfrey and then logs in with Godfrey. "Apologies, I didn't know he's with you. I was gonna let him rest here. He did fight very well."
Helmirk
Costa
nods.
looks at you, Helmirk, and goes, "Hey, I know that your friend just died, but that's your fucking one. We're gonna
Helmirk
figure this
looks at him and goes, "You may have been able to kill a mortal man. You would never be able to deal me a fatal blow. Let that be known here and now. If you cannot find your proof, I will gut you, bring you to hell, and throw you back to the sticks when you crawl out."
She turns around and starts walking to the direction inside. The veteran follows. Actually, in fact, Godfrey, you have the woman in the coats? Okay. So then, yeah. He'll start walking inside as long as you guys are both behind him.
Alright. We start walking back.
Okay. So, as you walk inside, he's going to, as you guys get inside and kind of like just, adjust to the warmth, Costa goes over and sits over by the fireplace over by General Fields and kind of has that like 1,000-yard stare of like she's running numbers. The veteran looks to you, Godfrey, and goes to grab the woman in your arms.
Godfrey hands her over with like tenderness.
He
Soft
takes the
face.
woman, places her on the table where Brannick sat, stepping over his body. And you see Brannick's eyes are still open with darker lips, paler skin. There's a loneliness to him, to his death. And the woman in the fur coat, her right arm kind of tosses over the side of the table and swings to a stop. you see the veteran kind of takes a kind of a forced sniff and then kind of darts his eyes around the frame of this woman, pulls the coat open, and kind of begins searching. He then pulls a blade off of his person and cuts a strap that was secured around her person and frees this black leather pouch and thrusts the blade into the wooden table. Opens up the pouch, kind of goes through the contents, and it seems mostly like papers. There's a few journals in there. And without looking up from what he's intently scanning, he goes, Jarlana, I apologize that this happened to your home. I assume that Toblin and Pip are well. And she kind of, looking at the scene and then realizing she's being spoken to, is like, oh, yeah, of course, they're both upstairs. Sildar, the veteran keeps flipping through the pages, kind of thumbing his, licking his thumb in anger, and he goes, General Fields, Ariel Pruitt, Alicia, Demena Willowbaum, you're all holding up well. And there's kind of this moment of silence. And he kind of looks up at them through his brow, gives a second to connect with everybody's eyes, and then kind of looks back down. Red Brands, we have business to deal with, and I most certainly will deal with you. But let's start here. And he starts kind of tossing the books and papers down on the table, goes back to the coat, keeps searching pockets and taking off her boots. The four of you start talking.
Helmirk is kind of gently laying Sylcan down, kind of like laying his arms across his chest, and he's gonna kind of ignore being spoken to, and he's gonna look towards Godfrey, Lucio, and Jin, kind of one at a time, and he's gonna say, a member of the Eighth has died. This is your chance to say your respects.
Godfrey's going to walk over to Helmirk, and as he gets close to him, he's going to place a hand on Helmirk's shoulder, and from there, Godfrey's going to get down on both knees and just hang his head, and all that hair that he has is just hovering over the body of Sylcan, and he's just going to reach for his hand and hold it. And he realizes that Sylcan was robotic, but as he's holding the hand, even though that it seems that this robotic form would already not have life in it, he can tell that it definitely doesn't. And it impacts him in a way that makes him think of a brother he lost before. And he just shakes his head and he just stays there.
I think Jin will just take a long look at Sylcan's body and just go probably closer on the left side, probably closer to it, about where his head is, about head and shoulders. Just look down at him. Me. That's not awesome. I owed you. I owed you a lot. You helped my people in ways I could never have repaid, which I could at least have tried. Ain't just gonna stand there and look at him.
Lucio's gonna come over and just kind of silently hang his head down. You'll hear him kind of quietly mutter something to himself, but it's nothing y'all would be able to hear.
Helmirk will nod, and he's gonna like look at the scars. Or I guess they're all covered, but he's gonna look at his arms and be like, "What's another name?" And he sits himself up. Be aware that the Red Brands were responsible for this. We are going to despite my initial instincts, look for evidence. And Helmirk's gonna go over to the man. What is this?
As far as like what he's pulling out,
Yeah.
he goes, I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I'm more curious about who the fuck you four are. I'm taking account on what exactly happened here.
We are the Cohort of the 8th. We are a group of adventurers who are staying here.
Why?
I'm just gonna kind of pause and look at all the bodies. We ran into some trouble in another town. We knew that it would happen to this town as well. We were coming here to prevent it.
The mangled one's yours?
He nods. Xalzin Brightwound.
Well, you're my good graces as far as I'm concerned. Costa? I need answers from you. She's still kind of staring at the fire. He kind of looks over your shoulder, Helmirk, more serious, and looks at her, just sitting there. There are still in this room Hob, Sella, and Drin, the three of the red brands that are sitting at the table that haven't said much. There's different expressions on their face, but just kind of being reserved.
Helmirk is going to go to, what's her name? The girl by the fireplace? Kara?
Costa.
Costa. Helmirk's gonna go to Costa. And he's gonna say, "You are needed."
And she stands up and kind of purposely walks really close around you, Helmirk, and walks up to the veteran and goes, "This was legal." And like uses three fingers and kind of taps on the journals. Inspector Malus had these orders, hired us to escort four of you out. It was all legal, black and white, right there. Now, this was called off, so I don't know why the fuck 7 of my guys out there are dead, or why they went rogue and continued on with a job that was canceled. The 4 of us in here are not responsible for what happened up there. I'm as confused as you are. Read the shit. Like gesturing to the papers. There are several tense moments where he just stares at her with like a very recognized murder in his eyes, Helmirk, as you would pick out.
Is she restrained in any way?
No.
We may want to do that.
Helmirk is going to kind of approach the table, but he's going to be pretty close to her.
Yeah, Godfrey finds his footing, leaves Sylcan's body where it was, and he approaches the table as well.
Sildar notices you both kind of closing in. Casta gets a sense on this as well. She doesn't move her head, but her eyes let Sildar know that she knows exactly where the two of you take your last step and stand. She stands there, though. Firm. And Sildar takes the papers and begins kind of reading over just the top of the page, still keeping her in vision, trusting that the two of you have his back if anything happens. He starts reading the papers, and about a minute goes by. Helmirk, he's going to hand you a paper.
Helmirk is going to take it. He looks over at he's gonna look over to Lucio or Square, and he's gonna say, Square, read this for me, please.
You will walk over and come take it, and then
Helmirk just doesn't leave it and get his eyes off Costa.
he's gonna immediately take like 3 steps back.
Square, as you start reading this, it's the heading of this paper is Quarantine Relocation Writ, official order by the authority of the Regal Health and Safety Oversight. The body says, by order of Regional Health and Safety Oversight, the village of Phandalin is hereby designated a potential contamination vector due to recent population displacement stemming from Crossroads Keep. Therefore, in order to mitigate risk of widespread contagion, the temporary relocation of the below residents is hereby authorized. This action is health and safety precaution of a strictly non-punitive nature, effective immediately. Harbin Wester, Sharna Quisenton, Lening Greywin, and Sildar Hallwinter. Authority is granted to detain and escort these individuals from the designated area for quarantine purposes until further assessment. Signed 14th of Alient, year 1497, Dr. Elric Vanor, Deputy Provost, Official Offices of Civic Burdens and Public Safety of Neverwinter.
Just
Can I
quick-
read all of that to them perfectly without stumbling at all?
For some quick clarification, the orders he was talking about that were legal, was that pertaining to us, or is that pertaining to him and some other people?
Are we talking about the Sildar?
Yeah, because he said, that it was legal, that 4 people were supposed to be removed, right? That's not the cohort.
Costa. No.
Okay, all right.
So, also, just to clarify, how I'm hearing this is Neverwinter charged those 4 people with the quarantine, or were those 4 people supposed to be relocated?
Yes, those 4 people are to be relocated and quarantined.
Helmirk is going to hear that, and he's going to look to Sildar, and immediately just, what do you know of the Hollow Throne?
I don't.
They know about you. This is unfortunate, but we have a common enemy.
Tell me who the Hollow Throne is.
Semi-religious psychopaths. They are organized and well-funded. We were here to stop them from evacuating Phandalin. They, melted people in Crossroad Keep. There is no quarantine, they murdered them. Experimented on the rest like cattle. You were to be experimented on as well, I would assume. Helmirk stops, and he's gonna look towards Jin. The 10 that were taken, they're doing the same here. These 4 are special. They've taken 3.
There's like probably trying to think the rest. Last one.
The rest of Phandalin were in danger then.
Yes.
He's gonna immediately look to Costa. And he's like, were you aware of your employer?
Yes, her name is Inspector Malus Thorn. She's from Neverwinter. She hired the entirety of the Red Brands. We had gotten word this morning that the job was called off, and as you can see, most of us complied with that. I don't know what those 7 knew or thought they knew, but as far as we're aware, this is completely legal and above board.
Helmirk is gonna nod. Your 7 were paid separately. They are still under contract. I would assume you were supposed to keep us distracted by not knowing.
Sildar looks at you, Helmirk, and goes, Elric Van Or. In fact, the document looks official. I'm not sure if that's his actual signature, though. And you see him going through a couple more papers, and Square hands them to you.
I will start reading them. Can I also, I guess, insight to see if do they look like legitimate? Would that be insight?
It would more be like an intelligence check, but I don't know. Would you have any experience to be able to reference with this? What are you looking for exactly?
I mean, he's probably seen like a couple official documents. Just, I don't know. Seeing if it looks legitimate to him or not.
Because of your noble background?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
He's seen like at least 1 or
The
2
rebel
contracts.
musician
for
knowing
sure.
contracts. If you say that's true, I'll go with it.
Can Godfrey
I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
go
know
ahead,
as well?
go ahead and make an intelligence check.
I don't think he'll be able to like spot a forgery, but you know, maybe tell something is off with it. That is, you said just straight intelligence?
Yeah.
A 13.
I mean, they look legitimate. They have the Neverwinter seal in it, but as far as like the Office of Civic Burdens and Public Safety, I don't think that you would know much about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything looks in place. The language, you know. The other papers that you get is a target roster, and this is the official order. So it has each person's name that they're trying to sort of get into safety and quarantine, and they have locations of where these people might be found, daily movements, and then on the very like right margin of it, you see low, moderate, and then high assigned to each name. Like Sildar has a high, Mark Greywind has a moderate, and then Harbin and Sharna have low. It doesn't say what that means. Another thing that you get is a transportation authorization slip, and it says route approved, PhD to blank, and that blank is not filled in. It also says escort approved. There's a departure window down, and then it says destination, which is also blank. There's also a red brand contract summary, and it says payment and conduct agreement, and it has 4 like agreements. One is payment will be issued per individual safely escorted to designated destination. 2, per head rate will be enhanced up to 50% in the event of non-disruptive compliance. 3, an immediate penalty will apply to the total balance per incident of public confrontation, violence, or disclosure of terms. And then 4, all contractual obligations are inapplicable and nullified if operations are exposed publicly through violence, negligence, conduct, breach of secrecy, or unapproved civil disruption. And it's signed Flynn Torin. And it says on the very bottom, copy, original filed separately.
We'll relay all that to the cohort. Once again, flawlessly.
As you're reading this, Castle recognizes these forms. She's seen them. So it's like a fucking got you moment for her. She stands proud, back straight, and just looks at you and went, "You look fucking dumb, don't you?"
Oh.
And then you hear Sildar go, "Here it is." And he pulls out a journal, and it's a personal journal of hers, it seems like. So I would say as Square is reading, wherever your attentions are, if you're looking at Sildar, there are several layered pockets that are separated from each other that can be accessed separately. And there's almost like a obsessive organization in the way that items and documents and things like that are stored on her person, to where it seems her coat is flat against her frame. There's no bulging or anything like that. Everything is very purposely organized and tucked in. So beneath the blood and snow, now melted snow, watery, soaked fabrics, Sildar finds the obvious, tosses a small little bag of coin, pulls out a dagger that's kind of finely embroidered, pulls off a signet ring off of her hand, sets it down. It looks like some kind of representative of her office in Neverwinter. Extra pair of black gloves. There's a field kit that he opens up, and you see that there's wax and spare seals and tablets and little compact vial, things like that. The documents most likely to have been presented as official orders were easily accessible in that leather pouch that he cut off of her. The documents he starts finding in hidden compartments in her coat were documents most likely she would have not presented. The first that you find are warrants and transfer authorizations, inventory slips, etc. There are documents that compare operations between Crossroad Keep and Phandalin. There are field reports from both. Crossroads Keep was not the end of something. It was the beginning of a study. He begins kind of pointing out notes and focus around emotional rupture, public collapse, divine response, interference, instability patterns, and in all the documents, the problems that they potentially would face, they had solutions for, and wanted to test them. Crossroads Keep was about population at the individual level. Phandalin was about political influence. What happens when trusted leadership disappears? How fast does that news travel, and by what means? Does the town collapse? Does it adapt? Does it turn inward? And in what time frame? How quickly does the public trust fracture? And what happens when legitimacy is weaponized? And you see in her personal journal a paragraph that Sildar, kind of flips through and kind of shows. And Square, if you're reading all of this, the excerpt is, the gods have made dependency look like virtue for too long that most can't tell the difference anymore. They call mortals chosen, blessed, favored, as if greatness was a ration to be handed out from above instead of something that's already present in the blood, the will, and the world itself, the throne does not promise paradise. It promises removal of the lie. If people break when authority vanishes, then they were never being led, only ruled. Better to die quick fighting on your feet than live forever begging on your knees.
Can you repeat that?
The whole thing?
Can you just like post that so we could have it?
Yeah.
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 I wrote the highlights.
They make some good points, guys. I'm gonna be honest. These are some strong talking points here.
Wait, does Lucio actually say that?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sure.
Yes, sure. I just want to check. All right, just wanted to check that.
Like, I'm not saying they're the good guys or anything, but I kind of understand what they're propagandaing right now.
Helmirk kind of
I-
nods
yeah.
slowly, and he goes, "If not for your own refusal of your father, when he offered everything you've ever wanted, I would be far more upset. But now I know, sometimes Squire just says things. He rarely means them.
You gotta be able to get into your enemy's head, you know? You gotta know what their motivation is.
This
How
is
are
why I
they
trust Squire.
luring people to their cause, you know? How attractive is it?
This I agree with. You must be the enemy to kill the enemy.
Yeah, maybe you try it out a little bit.
I'll say that Jin was having just horrified look on his face the entire time until the moment Lucio started talking.
He's still kind of nodding. And he's gonna look towards Costa, and he's going to look towards Sildar. What of the Red Prince?
Well, I've never trusted him. And kind of looks at Costa and goes, even though you've attempted to better yourself, you're not. With the four of you here with me, and I will do everything that I can to protect the Stonehill. They're good people. He looks over at Costa. You still believe yourself to be above the law? She goes, I need more time with these documents.
Helmirk is gonna look at her and goes, "That would be unfortunate for you." And he's gonna just kind of grab the documents and he's gonna hand them to Sildar. You are the leader of this town, I presume.
Part of the council.
Helmirk nods.
Speaking of which, I need to go check on the other two that they tried to grab.
Actually, Helmirk is going to Helmirk's gonna look at him before he goes. I will require to keep the personal journal and some of the hidden documents. I work with certain organizations. This information would be extremely valuable.
We'll work together on this. I'm more interested in keeping Phandalin safe. Let me go deal with this. Make sure that those two are good. I'll be back in about an hour. Keep an eye on them. In fact, before I go, and he looks at Casta and he goes, we're gonna disarm the four of you, and you're not gonna say fuck all about it. And we're gonna put you in a room, and we're gonna read through these documents, and we're gonna see, in fact, if you actually are righteous or not. If you've been duped or not.
Helmirk is gonna immediately go up to Costa and he's gonna just put his hand out. Weapons.
She looks at you and she goes, let's say for the sake of this argument that I was manipulated into this role that I seem to have fallen into. What difference are you from me? Falling right in line. You don't have the information either.
Helmirk punches her.
Where?
He just fucking stalks her and he says, weapons. You are a...
As you punch her. Oh. Go ahead and make an attack roll. You have to with her.
I mean, Helmirk is so furious. He's just looking for a reason to kill all of them. So he's pissed. All right. Am I using athletics or just raw strength and proficiency?
Yeah, use that. Yeah, use athletics.
18.
Yeah.
Does that miss?
So you punch her, and immediately the nose just starts bleeding, and she instinctually grabs both daggers and looks at you and gets the scope of everything. Sildar immediately steps out from the table, stepping over Brannick, and just looks at her and went, mm-mm. And she lets go of the dagger, and then she grabs them again, pulls them out, and hands them to you.
Helmirk nods, and he's not even looking at her. He moves towards the others, and he's going to stop. She reminds me of a member of my cohort. Godfrey, would you keep an eye on her to make sure she has no more weapons? There would never be a time that Tav would not have a hidden dagger.
She will make no surprises. Godfrey draws his sword and points it at her. Just keeping an eye on her.
Helmirk is going to go, and he's going to look at there's 2 other ones or 3 other ones?
3.
He's going to look at all of them, and he goes, I will make this simple. Xalzin was the weakest of the cohort. I am its leader. If you make a move, I will kill you. Bring out your weapons and drop them. Xalzin killed 10 of you. I will kill 100.
Sella looks at you, and she looks like she's the wild one. And she goes, that paperwork should protect us.
Helmirk shrugs. You worked for the Hollow Throne. I have no qualms with breaking the law.
I don't know who that is.
Helmirk is going to take a step forward.
But calm down. I will comply. But I don't know who that is. And she reluctantly starts disarming herself.
Helmirk takes the weapons, and he's going to look towards the other ones.
Dren looks like he's taking it the hardest emotionally. He goes, we weren't supposed to turn into this. And he looks at you and he goes, if we got fooled and we did wrong, and he looks at the rest of them and he goes, I quit being a red brand tonight. And he also complies.
Helmirk takes his weapons and he just says, you were doomed. You were sent to kidnap the leaders of a town. Legally. Or legally, but for murderous purposes. These men would have been killed or tortured.
And Hob looks at you and he goes, you think we touch council blood for fun? This was sanctioned.
You did it for coin. Does not matter.
We were under orders.
Helmirk is like, Helmirk just shrugs. He's like, I have no patience for this. One of my men lies dead out there. 10 of yours are also dead. I don't mind making it one more. Give me your weapons now.
He goes to pull his weapons, but he goes, I just want to be clear. They acted. We did not. We were in here where we were supposed to be. Hands the weapons off. Don't kill us.
Helmirk takes his weapons and he's like, you did well by giving me your weapons. Keeping your weapons would have signified you were one of them. Helmirk stashes his weapons, and he is going to look. He's gonna take this big deep breath and shake out his arms. He's gonna look towards kind of everything that's happened. Nod, and he is going to go next to Godfrey, and he's just gonna kind of stare at the room. And he's gonna look at him, and he's gonna say, "When I left the Hells, I had thought that I was leaving devils behind. That devils were creatures of violence and evil. And now I have learned that devils are not. They are simply just spawns of man. That is where true evil lies.
And it is a shame.
Devils are not evil because they are devils. Devils are evil because they come from man."
It should not be this way.
Sildar goes over to Trelana and whispers something to her, and you see she kind of like reaches down and grabs like, a couple sets of keys. And Sildar goes, "You're lucky we don't throw you out in the snow. Tonight, you will rest comfortably here in the Stonehill Inn. Say your thanks." And he takes the four of them and locks them each individually in one room. And Sildar comes up to you, Helmirk and Godfrey, and goes, "Again, I need to go check on the others. There's more there. Let me know what you find when I come back." And he exits out the front door.
Before he leaves, Helmirk is gonna go, "You require our escort. Every member of this cohort is capable."
"I don't know you well enough. One of your men have already fallen for me. I'm not gonna have a second."
Helmirk nods and gives him a salute. "Fight well if it comes to it." Oh wait, does he
Pushes
look
the
injured
snow.
at all?
Oh yeah, he's exhausted. Oh yeah.
Helmirk is gonna go up to him, and he's gonna say, "They will have to touch you for this. It will help." Helmirk is going to grab him, and witness my soldier's death. This is the least I can do. And Helmirk is going to sacrifice 3d10 of health and heal him.
Ooh. Okay.
That was a pretty fucking good roll.
And Helmirk's dead.
So, you see Helmirk kind of grunts in pain, and you guys can see like steam kind of coming off him, and you watch this like glow in his gauntlets as he starts to heal Sildar's wounds. So he heals 422 health.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. So, feeling that warmth, maybe even a little too warm for his comfort, a little bit of a fucking alright, you know, like easy. As the gauntlets sort of dissipate that heat and that light, kind of. Thank you for that.
Helmirk nods, and he kind of rolls his shoulders, and he kind of pops and cracks his neck. And just think nothing of it. It's the least I can do, Sildar.
As you remove your fingers from his arm and you watch the imprint of your hand kind of flush through his arm. Yeah, he pushes the front door open, that cold ripping through, and that snow slams the door shut, and there's just an awkward silence that follows that.
Helmirk is going to go to the town. I keep forgetting her name.
Trelana.
Trelana. I would ask if you had a blanket. Something to wrap my friend.
Oh, of course, yes. She goes and gets a couple blankets for you and gives them to you.
He's gonna wrap up Sylcan. He's gonna kind of carry him on his shoulder, and he's going to go, "I must handle something. I require I may require aid in this if one of the cohort will join me. It will be messy work, not to sit. You will find them. Come. Helmirk is gonna go to his room with Jin.
Okay.
I'll wait and see if anyone else wants to.
Square, Godfrey, what are you guys doing?
Square is gonna take all of the knives and weapons that we confiscated from everybody and throw them into the fireplace.
Okay.
And then he will go find a nice little corner to sit in.
Cherry bombs. Ugh.
Oh, what's this?
Health potion, garbage. Throw it away.
Directions right to the bad evil layer. Yeah.
We don't need that. We
I
can
take
do it
all their
all on our own.
clothes, I take everything and I burn it.
He just starts burning
Alright.
everything in the bar.
Just chairs and stuff, like
He
everything under
grabs Jip and throws him in the fire.
It was fine. It's gotta go. Sorry.
We gotta go with that pie.
We gotta scrub the place.
There could be taint on
What are you
it.
doing?
Where's Lucio going?
He's
He's
just gonna go
burning
like sit in a
everything.
corner after he's done burning everything.
Godfrey's
Being a
gonna
fucking
go. He's gonna
arsonist.
follow you.
All right.
Oh,
Take it away, Helmirk.
Helmirk gets in the room, and he's going to say to Jin, "Do you have a blade, a knife?"
Yeah, I have one right here. I pull out one of
Percent
my daggers.
And he is going to like unroot, like take off his covering so you can see all the scars, and he's going to take off his breastplate, and he's going to point to a empty spot where there's no scars on his ribs. Sylcan died under my command. These scars are the war dogs. They were soldiers who followed me to the gates of Cyrene and died. My punishment was to wear their names. Sylcan's name must join them. I cannot reach.
It's a punishment, and why add more?
He's gonna kind of stop. Is the way things are done. He died in a place I could not help. Under my command, they should have kept a better eye on him. This is my punishment.
Right?
Yep.
I'll grab the blade, grip it tight, and start carving.
It's fucking bad work. In Helmirk's blood's like this bright, almost like fire orange. So Helmirk, I think takes it pretty well though. Like kind of like grips onto like the table or like the bed frame, but he doesn't like say anything.
Yes. Type? Yeah, that's fine. How did the war dogs die?
They were. Every member of the Seventh was allowed a unspoken command. Something Maltrius would turn a blind eye to. The war dogs were mine. They were soldiers that would break rank to follow me into battle. Not because they were given to me, but because they were soldiers I had saved or led into battle. They were soldiers I had out of respect, not nepotism or through rank. One could say they were the precursor to the Eighth.
See? You see. It's always nice to know who you're going to battle with, who you're going to run out with.
He died with me. I died that day. Helmirk's going to rearm. And he's going to look at the wrapped over body of Xalzin. And he's going to give a salute. And he says that, I will keep watch in the halls. You may do with what you will for the night. But I will remember this, Jin. Thank you for this.
Yes.
Helmirk also stops. Do you consider the last members who had taken the 10 or the 5 as the last part of our contract?
Wait, say that again? You cut off for a second? On my end?
The last 5 who were taken, your mother included. Do you include them as the last part of our contract?
I do.
Helmirk nods. You will find them then. But even if I was not bound, I would help you. He puts a hand on Jin's shoulder. But you are not just a comrade. You are my friend. And I have very few of those. And he's going to go back to the hall.
Thank you. I also, one of my friends, I'm an eater. And I guess she's gonna retire for the night. I can't think of anything else.
Is it like in the evening at this point?
Probably just getting there. Yeah.
I guess
Oh,
if
I was
everybody
later than
else
that.
is going to their rooms, Lucio will probably head back to his room as well. Well, I think we had just the 2 rooms, right? Or did
I
we
think we
each
just
have
had
our
2
own?
rooms, yeah.
Yeah.
We had
Yeah.
2
Yeah,
I think.
upstairs.
Some of
So I will
us
go
Xalzin's
to-
fucking body.
The other room.
Okay. About an hour goes by, and Sildar returns, that door swinging open and slamming shut. Who's here in the main room?
Helmirk would come down when he hears the door.
Okay.
Yeah, probably
He looks
Lucio
at
as
you.
well.
Yeah, Jin too.
Okay. As you
Not
all start
Godfrey.
coming down.
Godfrey stays.
Godfrey's on the roof.
He's on the ceiling.
The ceiling, yeah. Think about it. It's basically an upside down roof.
Is
It's a-
Godfrey coming?
Yeah, he is. It's actually a floor to Godfrey. You guys are on the ceiling.
He looks at the 4 of you and he goes, "What'd you find out?"
We haven't done any interrogations. I needed time to process.
No need to explain. I understand.
I went and took a nap.
He's gonna go back to the paperwork and the journals and start reading over them again. What are y'all doing?
We're all just sitting there watching him read.
Helmirk, I guess, will sit with him and goes. What you should know is more. We are looking for an order. They've been, under official pretenses, experimenting on small towns. Rossovsky's was last. They committed surgeries on the populace, killed most of them, melted them in some chamber. They shipped off a few specifically. We aren't sure what.
Crossroads Keep? The whole thing?
Whole thing. Only 30, and he looks towards, he nods. Only 36 survive. Out of 200 something.
They were trying to do that here.
Similar. It seems from the papers, they wanted to see what a lack of leadership would do. They were targeting your council specifically, and I hope they are well. Were any taken?
No, they're fine. That has a huge... That credit goes to your friend.
Helmirk
I
nods.
think your friend single-handedly stopped whatever was going to happen.
And our purpose here is done. We were here to stop this. We knew something was happening. We weren't sure what, but we knew that the order was coming.
He goes over to Trelana and he goes, "Can I get a drink?" and walks back over to the table where the inspector's laying and uses his right foot and slides Brennick over, like underneath the table behind him, pulls a chair out and sits down. And you're staying here for the night, right?
Yes.
Why Phandalin?
It is a trade town that he has been on the rougher end of business. They believe that it's isolated enough that they can experiment on it.
Does this have anything
Same
to
with-
do with Sharna?
Who?
Sharna.
I know not who this is.
Anything to do with the Zentarium?
Not that I am aware.
So it's nothing internal that I need to worry about.
You are with the... What are the Centauri? I am not from the South Coast.
He kind of looks at the rest of you. Nobody's from here?
Yeah, I'm from Neverwinter.
I hail from Argenspire.
Well, definitely Argenspire. You all would have heard of him.
I'm familiar. Thugs and whatnot.
What are they?
Zentarium?
Was that one of the groups that was mentioned by Master Corn?
Oh, no.
Alright. I would still investigate. The order is very good at infiltrations. Anything with power or connections, they will try to make their way in.
I'm sure you can tell that I'm a fighter, but I can't do this whole council thing. I'm retired. So I guess I have to do the due diligence. I'm not sure who's gonna attempt to lay claim to these documents, but I am not opposed of copies. I'd like to get as much information as I can to figure out exactly why my town was targeted.
Helmirk is gonna nod, and he's gonna say, "We would like either the originals or the copies. We have groups with a vested interest in the destruction of the Hollow Throne."
I can make copies. That way you can keep the originals and we can, have copies for us. So, I mean, if we leave you with the copies, I feel like that puts you in a much trickier spot than if we leave with the copies.
Fair.
Plus, I have like a tattoo. I can write them in a way that we can keep it protected if we need.
Does anybody want to investigate these documents?
Yeah. Not Helmirk, but
I
he'll
can
give a
it
help
shot.
action.
Absolutely, not me.
If Lucio does end up copying them, I assume it'll be like kind of throughout the night. He'll probably like investigate them as he's doing that. I don't know if it would necessarily be a right now thing,
Okay.
but I mean, if he's gonna spend the time copying them, he's gonna kind of look through them at the same time.
Yeah, he's gonna spend the time copying them for sure.
Helmirk's gonna give Godfrey a help action on that investigation check.
Okay, go ahead and roll investigation for me with advantage.
Good thing I got advantage. It's an 18.
Okay. You let me know whenever you're ready to pour through those. Or is the plan to go through it with him there?
I could probably go through it with him.
Okay. So with an 18. He started going through the personal journal before he decided that there was something deeper going on. And if you remember where he pulled that journal out of, there were pockets that were flush against her back. So once you put the coat on, you couldn't see that pocket. There's also a sealed report packet and a contingency provision ledger. With an 18, as you're going through these, you see there are a list of what you could probably deduce as abbreviated towns or settlements that are listed in these documents that are not obvious. But with an 18, you start picking them out. You would recognize two of them. CRK, Crossroads Keep, got that one. PhD, Fanlin, cool, great. There's more. For Crossroads Keep, you see notes under that abbreviation. You see status resolved early. You see a description of where Crossroad Keep is located. And you see function, pilot operation, low visibility test case. And then you see in a different ink, later added on, survivors intentionally left behind.
Knew it.
In Phandalin, it says prepared, not deployed. Location description, function, governance, extraction, economic and administrative decapitation, and nothing else. And then you see CBY, northeast of Phandalin, east edge of Neverwinter Wood, function, overflow relocation site, quiet holding location, already abandoned, and it's like crossed off. And then you see RSH, GLF, TRB, DGF, GHM, and LEI. And they don't have any details under them.
Ooh, boy, that's bad.
You also see, with an 18, as you're looking over these, her journal, which is written in the first person, is in a. Her handwriting is it's clean, very precise. It's almost, you could probably fool somebody to thinking that it was typed. There's like careful consideration of the penmanship. There are other documents that you start finding that have a different penmanship. The penmanship is narrow and almost like technical swipes of a quill, like quick and sharp. Those are the ones in that writing were the ones that he had to dig into the pockets to find, not in the leather satchel that he removed from her person. In one of the pockets, he finds a rough route that's marked only by landmarks and has the name Forward to Drowned Lens for Lens Review and Harmonic Comparison written on it. I should also mention that as you're going through these documents, the documents were 1 point sealed with wax. One could probably gather that, she broke the wax seal to read the instructions or whatever it contained. And it's the wax seal that catches your eye. It doesn't have any like sigil or any markings or anything like that. But nonetheless, this deep blue, clean, cold wax pressed onto thick parchment. You recognize that wax. You've seen this wax before.
Was this the wax that we saw fucking Damar pouring back in the office?
Not only is that the same wax, it is also the same like wax impression in your invitations to Obius. If you recall day one of me describing, like, Helmirk, especially you, the letter itself was dirty, but the wax seal was weirdly clean. Lucio, for you, that wax seal, clean, and it had almost a kind of warmth as you were in the stagecoach riding along. You know this wax.
This is our enemy numero uno. He's the one responsible for these, I think.
This is Damar's work.
This is.
He has got our brother killed. A member of the cohort gone because of him.
Helmirk kind of nods slowly.
He will suffer wrath meant for monsters, because he is a monster. This I vow.
I could not think of a suitable punishment to give him, a suitable pain to deliver.
You know who's responsible for this Phandalin thing?
One of them. We know of a few, but now we know who is directly responsible for these.
And he's like all ears with, writing everything you're saying.
A man named Damar. And look, does anyone out over the table? Does anyone know his last name?
Here, wait. I think I might have it written down.
Got the notes for this session. I have a lot.
Yeah, I keep all my notes together, so if I have his
It's a
last
real
name.
girthy session.
Hey,
I don't believe you have his last name. I know that you know Damar the Oracle. You have his title.
No,
Yeah,
I
someone
don't think
named
we
him.
ever got his last.
Fucking Square's
Okay.
parents said his last name.
That's
I do not have. I do not have it written down. I just have Oracle.
Yeah,
and
I
Damar.
only-
They were like, a man named
Oh, I
Damar
put Damar
so-and-so.
down. Oh.
I was too busy having emotional trauma.
Yeah.
Also busy being interrogated.
Regardless, Helmirk is looking at Sildar, and he says, he goes by Daemar the Oracle. He is a...
And he's in part of this Hollow Throne,
Yes,
the religious organization that you say that is well funded.
Anti-religious would be more applicable. They believe a disconnect with the gods and the mortal races.
Very anti-establishment.
Okay, but at what cost?
Any cost.
Yeah, that's where you lose me. Like, I can kind of get behind, you know, I'm not a religious man, you know, but killing innocent people to make your point, kind of ironic.
I think the killing is more of a byproduct of the other stuff they're doing, the testing and whatnot.
Isn't it always? Isn't it always?
Helmirk is gonna nod, and he's gonna say, Daemar takes the appearance of a kindly old man. He has attempted our life at least once, most likely twice, maybe more.
Takes
I'd
the
say 3
appearances
times
and
at
he's
least.
not what he...
We have lost all sorts of trusted faith in this man. He could not be a man for all we know. But
He's
we know
probably
he
some kind of
looks
demon.
I've been there, I've been there.
Evil creature of some sort.
He is. It is good that we know who is behind this operation at least, because we can.
Where do we
bring this
find him?
back. Helmirk shrugs. We've been trying to find that out.
We lost his trail a time ago. We only know that he works with the Hollow Throne.
You
At
know,
some capacity.
we think they have operations in Neverwinter. That is why they are able to get these documents officiated.
We know he uses this blue wax. Well, a pretty big lead we've got at the moment.
If that's the case, if you wouldn't mind me taking the originals. If Neverwinter is indeed compromised.
Yeah, that was the plan.
I'll go find out for sure.
Surely not alone. Would you-
I guess I could just have Acquisitions Incorporated send a message out.
Take the originals. We will construct copies and bring that back to our groups.
Let me see that that map that you got that we pulled out.
Yep, Helmirk hands him whatever he's got.
I'm gonna roll for this one. I need a fucking dice cam. That's what I need.
But you can't fudge your rolls. Like
Dice
all
cam is the
DMs.
easy part.
And,
It's
Dio-
switching between the two
What
cameras.
a
That's
DM
the
power
hard part.
doesn't.
Dio is very honest about his roles.
Yeah. I'm sure he is. I'm just making a joke
Make
about
it
DM's
15.
suspense.
It would be cool for me to have to be able to like edit in occasionally.
He
Can we
looks
t-
at
can-
it and he goes, I'm almost positive this is Mirror of Dead Men. I kind of recognize the roads, but I don't know much about what's in there. Most people don't go in Mirror of Dead Men. But if that's where the drowned lens is, Because I don't think that's a person. I think that's a place.
The lenses were a surgery that was done on the people of Crossroad Keep.
So it's a thing, not a place.
They dampened their emotions, made them have a inner-linked mind.
And the more
Still
sensitive
trying to keep up on all
to-
this. You're telling me if I go to Crossroads Keep, there's nobody there anymore. They're
Correct.
gone.
No one there.
Where'd the people that weren't killed go?
Never went to.
I mean, down.
So the people that survived went to the city that is hosting the Hollow Throne?
We did not realize until after. And by then, we hope they are safe, but it was too late for us to find them.
If I'm to assume correct, because I've been in your shoes before, you're gonna head out there as soon as you can.
Yes.
Does anyone know about Mirror of Dead Men and its geography?
No.
You'll have fun, especially in this weather. It's, gross.
Where is Mirror of Dead Men?
It is on the east coast, just, I believe, south of Crossroads Keep.
Well, that makes
Let me
sense.
double check that. I could check my notes, but I'm going to do this because it's faster. God, I can't believe this guy doesn't have this memorized. Jesus. Yes, it is. I would say. Well, I wouldn't say because you don't have a map, but
Helmirk has a map. We got that earlier.
that's right. You do have a map. Fuck. All right. So yeah, Sildar is going to kind of point this out to you, and
All right.
so it's about a day's walk south of Crossroads Keep.
By Baldur's Gate, going up towards the trainway. I'm at Waterdeep. Going up towards Neverwinter. I'm on the Tribord Trail. Gibbet Crossing.
Are you asking me where it's at?
Monk- Yeah.
So you said you're on the Tribord Trail
Yeah.
and the high road straight
Uh,
down. It's north of Thornhold.
Yeah. Right across from the Sword Coast Mountains.
Shrine of Cerberus, Old Owlwell, Conyberry, Agathis, Cragmaw Castle, Cragmaw Hideout, Vandalin. I'm just on
What are you
Vandalin.
looking at?
I'm just at Vandalin. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like southwest,
Vandalin.
right on the east coast. Or sorry, not east coast, west coast, right on the coastline.
Mirror of Dead Men, I found it.
Yeah, but he goes. Sildar goes. Yeah, nobody goes in there because it's just desert. It's just vast wastelands. It's not very forgiving. I don't know that it's. I mean, it's definitely not safe, but it's just more. It's more so impractical to travel anywhere in that region. So nobody does. Suppose it would be a great way to be secluded.
Over the table, were we given any way to get a hold of not Neymar, of Strix, if we found anything. Because I thought we had something when we found information. I can't remember it.
You sure do.
If he's within 120 feet, I can cast message. So there's that.
He modified your why am I blanking on the name? Port key.
Our port keys.
To sending once a day.
Helmirk is going to nod. And he goes, I must send a message. Just so our contacts are aware. And Helmirk is going to step outside. And let me look the language of the message.
Yeah, there's a lot you need to
25 words.
catch him up on.
Yeah. Well, the good thing we all have message.
We each get like 2 sentences.
All right.
Tamar, blue wax.
All right.
Listen to this as you listen to Helmirk's.
So, Strix.
Message 1 of 6.
Yeah, actually, one of 4. Of
So it's once per day.
It is once per day, but
Correct.
we each have a message. Because we each have our own port key.
Okay, so you all are individually using.
At least
Your
Helmirk is. He's
message
going
to
to
go
come
to
in
him?
and tell
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
Helmirk, 1 of 4, Helmirk. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Crossroad. Keep.
1,
Just so y'all know, Square is not counting his message. He's going for it.
Just run it.
And so the
We'll get it
people
in there.
and it just ends.
And then I confronted my parents, and then they yelled at me, and then
Hey, is this Strix? No, this is Patrick.
Okay,
Fucking so
I,
close.
I just hit 25. So
Okay,
I will read it out to you.
Ready?
Strix 104, Helmirk. Crossroad Keep survivors found. 10 taken. 30 experimented. Town evacuated. Neverwinter compromised. Waldemar compromised. Or Waldemars compromised. Vandalin saved. Too many towns attacked.
alright,
That
who's
is
next?
exactly 25.
Okay.
Can you send that in the chat? You got that typed out?
Yeah.
I can type it out for you. If anyone else would like to go and let them know where we're going.
Who wants to do that?
I figure Square was gonna go last, you know, kind of put some pizzazz on it.
It's
These
just
previously
Godfrey.
messages were kind of boring, so I'm gonna spice it
This
up.
is a story of a girl who drank a river and drowned.
How many words does a song count for? Like if I just play music? This is a ballad
Strix
for
is
you,
just like
Strix.
taking notes intently on everybody's message and then just comes in loud as fuck. She's mine.
This is the ballad of 25 words.
He's like, yeah, that one's from Lucia.
My dad hates me.
Like throws the earpiece. Get out of my head. Is anybody going next?
Okay, Strix 104. Crossroad.
I guess we might as well
Nice.
type it.
We need to tell him where we're going. We can tell him about the status of the survivors.
I can do
Probably
the
tell him
status of the
about
survivor.
some
I can do this.
Someone tell him about. Someone needs to tell him about the documents that we have.
Okay, I can do the survivors.
Like the list of
I
the
can tell him-
towns?
Well,
No,
I'll
just
send
like
it.
letting him know we have important documents for him.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Godfrey, you do that. I will do the survivors.
Square will do his thing.
Square will do what he wants.
I'll
We
finish
can't
it
stop
out.
square. We can't stop square.
Just so everyone is aware, I went to go grab what I thought was a bottle of water. It is not a bottle of water. I almost just drank 91% isopropyl alcohol.
What the
You won't do it, coward.
Why did you just have that?
No, I
Brother,
won't.
what the fuck?
It's for cleaning paint.
Is there paint?
You just watch him
inside you?
panic, and then he grabs the printer ink, and he's like, ethanol bind with it. It fucking...
It's the
I
mire of
didn't know
dead
that.
men we're heading to.
Mirror of dead
Yeah,
men.
mirror done, yeah.
Word count. Ha! Did it. Ha!
All right, Ginny, you going next?
No, I'm still riding.
You got me.
Did it. Are you done? No.
No. Jin's just in the corner.
Why would you...
Jin's,
No, why would you think that?
Jin's just in the corner fucking counting on his fingers.
It's like, I got it, I got it. Strix is just sitting there waiting, like, he said 1 of 4, right? Are there any more coming? I don't.
The number you have called is temporarily disconnected.
Fuck!
Strix, 2 of 4. We are journeying to Mirror of Dead Men. We have documents of importance from Hollow Throne, listing targeted towns, more. I didn't have enough to say and more, so I got rid of and I'm hoping he'll just understand what more means.
Oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna do what I have. I'm not gonna try to figure out 2 extra words. Video 4, Jin. Possible case of virus 26 found, magical lens attached, removed, taken in Neverwinter, currently being relocated by Magistrate Alvin Valor.
Sweet. For Square's message, he's gonna say, "What up? It's Square here." Does count? Probably not. Message 1, I mean 4 of 4. In Phandalin, really cold.
That's it. That's the end of your message.
Did I hit 25 already? No, I got more.
What's up? What's up? It's Square here. Does count? Probably not. Message 1. I mean 4 of 4 in Phandalin, really cold. And that's the end of it.
Okay, well, yeah, there you go. I was gonna mention Sylcan died, but yeah,
No,
I didn't get to that.
I could have. I had 2 words left. I could just wrote Sylcan dead. Too late. I
Yeah,
already
he
sent the
gets an
message.
additional 2 words from Jin.
I've already hit my limit. I've already sent
Good
it,
job,
so.
team. I think we all got some important stuff to him for sure. It's been how many days since we last saw Daymar?
Me Strix.
Oh yeah, Strix, sorry.
Several. It's been like a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like this is the first time he's hearing from us since we left.
He's like,
He's getting all of this
these guys are
information
still
at
alive.
once.
Well, some of them, but I guess he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
We didn't. That'll be a tomorrow message.
The last time you guys saw Strix, I think, was on the 5th, and today is the 21st.
Oh shit. Okay, so that was
So
longer
it's
than I
been-
thought.
Yeah, it's been
Wait.
been a while.
Wait, so it's been
Speaking of
He
that,
might have
Dio,
died of old age by now.
wait, it's been like 16
I
days.
just
now.
want to make sure, in terms of days till shit hits the fan, I have 2 more days. Is that accurate?
What are you asking me before I give you an answer?
The counter, the 2 week
say
counter.
no.
I would assume the 2 weeks until Mount
2 weeks from when you were told would be the 23rd.
That happened
It's
2
the
days ago.
25th.
It's the 21st right now.
Okay.
Oh,
You were told, yeah, it would be the 23rd for it to be 2 weeks.
Very
guys, are you ready to
enticing.
die
Hear me
in
out.
2 days?
Very
Helmirk goes
exciting.
on a little solo quest.
I think Helmirk is going to realize, and he's gonna nod. Oh.
Well, guys, it's been great. Great knowing you. We're all gonna die.
It's been fun. Can't
I
say
just
it's
realized
been
I
real
have a
fun.
thing I have to do in 2 days. Sorry, guys.
One day.
Yeah, because
Well,
it's
we
like
haven't
20,
slept
20
yet.
It's the 21st, and we're about to rest because it's
Yeah, it'll
like
be-
10 o'clock right now.
Yeah.
So we have one
Dawn
day.
of the final day.
It's just like my favorite indie series, Don't Escape.
Okay. So as the four of you send him these, with it ending with Lucio, and you all kind of stand there. Probably 30 minutes later, you get a response.
Oh.
Who gets it?
Helmirk.
Alright. Helmirk feels the message come in, and he's gonna look towards the cohort. And
Where
he's
does it
just
come in?
responded.
Phandalin priority. Save who you can. Avoid Neverwinter entry. Valor untrusted.
Said Valor untrusted.
Valor and trust.
Lenses critical. Secure one intact. 16, right? Documents determine spread. You are being studied. I have two more, but that's fine. That's what you get.
What up, Square?
That's
Probably would've said
exactly what
this
I
last
thought.
day.
Sup, Square.
Strix out.
Okay.
Mic
So
drop.
Valor. Okay, so Phandalin priority.
We
More
have,
trusted. Stay on Neverwinter. Documents determine spread. We're being studied.
Save who you can.
Right, we've saved them. They've stopped it. Helmirk is going to nod.
I mean, at least one at a time.
We have had a response. Neverwinter is to be avoided. Valoran is to be trusted. We need an intact lens. Documents are to be given to Strix. They are determining spreads. We are the target of a study, most likely from High Throne or Hollow Throne.
Of course.
Over
Let's say-
table.
let's say like
Who's
the-
Valoran again?
The
Valoran
magistrate.
was the magistrate who
From
has all the
Neverwinter?
lenses.
Yeah.
Did we give him
He's
all
one
of the
interrogating me.
lenses? Or did
We
Sylcan
gave her
give
all of them. We gave her every single one. Sylcan kind of just emptied out his bag in front of her.
Okay.
I will say, Jin immediately sends out a sigh of relief hearing that magistrate is safe.
Helmirk also nods. Yeah, that's good. He's gonna put a hand on Jin's shoulder. The people are safe.
Yeah.
He's gonna look back towards Sildar, and he's gonna say, "We must leave in the morning. Our orders are to gain more specimens, and if this is where they are being fabricated, it will have documents that we require."
I heard you mention Strix. Who is that?
Helmirk's gonna nod slowly. He'll look to the group, and he's going to sit down. This must not leave this table.
Are you waiting for me to respond? I can't promise you a blank check. I don't know what you're about to say.
We are explaining who we are working for. But do know that we have a vested interest in their safety.
This may not be wise. He's a target of acquisition. If he somehow ends up captured and he knows, this could not be good for us.
He could be scried on.
Strix is a member of a group that we work for. You are a target, unfortunately, though we think this operation is a failure. And we don't think they are willing to sink many more resources in the failed experiment. But Strix is a good man that we are associated with.
My only interest is Fandolin. Outside of that, I could give a fuck. I'm not my. It's not my problem. As long as my town is safe.
We believe that we have
I
stopped.
used. Okay. My days of chasing shit is over. I'm just here to take care of the people.
Oh my God. We believe we've stopped this. I do believe that they have got the results they wish for this experiment. Whether it was a success or failure, I think they have learned what they wanted.
Well, I know that we've uncovered a lot, but I think that the most important thing, the biggest takeaway, is that your friend stopped this. I will ensure that legacy is known in this town, and that the Cohort of the Eighth is credited for stopping this. You have my word on that. Your friend does not die tonight. Not as long as my body still takes breath.
Helmirk gives him a salute. It is good that he is honored. I don't believe he would understand the import of what he had done. Knowing Sylcan, he wishes to strike the hill.
Well, helping without running numbers on what you're getting out of it makes him even more heroic, wouldn't you say?
I would say it does.
Here.
He's a good man.
Alright.
I think I've pulled all that I need from you. You all have taken all the notes that you need, correct?
I'm assuming that probably Square needs more time with the documents.
Yeah, I assumed he was gonna do it kind of throughout the night. I imagine it's gonna take like a couple hours at least.
Okay, fair. Just make sure I get the originals back in the morning.
Yeah, I'll return them to you.
Alright. Do we leave the red brands in our care?
I'm gonna go deal with Acquisitions Incorporated, see if they can assist in this investigation. I'm gonna need them to send a message to Neverwinter, but I have to figure out exactly which contact I'm gonna trust. And how fast somebody can get here. My hope is that they are found innocent and I can just let them go and get the fuck on with my day.
In terms of contacts, an official, Magistrate Florida, he is confirmed to be trustworthy. She is our contact in Neverwinter. She helped me with the refugees.
Okay, good to know.
Helmirk is going to stand up and he's going to say, "We will rest. We have a long journey tomorrow."
there anything anybody would like to do before you bed down for the evening?
And Lucio's gonna obviously copy all the notes and stuff. He's gonna use his Illuminator's tattoo to write all of it. So if he needs to hide it in the future, he can. But
Okay,
however
fair enough.
long that takes, if he needs to take like an exhaustion for it, he'll do that.
No, I wouldn't say it's... No, you wouldn't have to take an exhaustion for it. You would have to take about 2 hours to, like, fully copy everything.
Okay.
Yeah. But you've got plenty of time. I mean, right now it's probably only, like, 7:30, 8 o'clock right now. So you've got time without cutting into your sleep.
Okay. He'll copy it and then give the originals back then, before going back to sleep.
Yeah, Sildar's kind of just sitting at the table, kind of just, taking, a few drinks. He's got a couple tankards in front of him that are empty. And at this point, because of the relationship that he has with the Stone Hills, he's just kind of going back and filling them up himself. So.
Have a better night, and then he'll go up to his room.
All right. So, Gariel's room's upstairs. The two willow bombs had a room. It is currently taken by one of the prisoners, so they're just kind of like resting on each other's shoulders. They look like they're totally fine sleeping in uncomfortable places, but just kind of nod off at some point in the night. And Sildar kind of just, takes watch. General Fields is kind of in and out. Every once in a while he'll go check on the horses and make sure that the exterior of the building is okay and safe and good to go. But yeah, unless anybody has anything else to do.
I don't think so.
All right. You all take a long rest.
Huzzah. One day closer.
Bye, guys.
All right. Waking up in the morning, sun brighter than it definitely was yesterday. Looking out of the sort of frost-covered windows, there's a good amount of snow on the ground, but the wind seems to have died down for the most part. And that sun just kind of flashing on the that perfectly smooth, fresh snow layer. You all wake up as some of you are known to wake up in inns and brothels and pubs and things like that, where in the morning there's usually the smell of cooked meats and breads and things like that being made. Very similar here, waking up and smelling. There's already a few people in the kitchen preparing foods for everybody. How do y'all start your day?
Yeah, I think Helmirk
Eating.
Helmirk, actually, no. First thing Helmirk does is he's going to get the body of Sylcan, and he is going to go out in the woods and find like a nice large tree, and he's gonna bury him by there.
I'd say Godfrey is gonna accompany you in that.
Okay. You find a tree.
Godfrey is going to ask as we're putting Sylcan to rest. Godfrey's gonna begin to ask Helmirk a question. He's gonna say, Helmirk, you have known death fondly, but have you ever feared it yourself?
Yes. When my first defeat at the siege of Cyrene,
a pit fiend had wounded me. It threw me into the maze-like caverns below the cliffs that it was situated on. I survived, and I was left with broken limbs, crawling my way with shattered bones through caves, that I sometimes had to break through just to ease myself through. I was down there for what felt like years. I was captured after, tortured, and traded, then tortured again.
Did you have hope to continue to live?
No.
Do you fear?
But
Oh, go ahead.
I simply wanted to see anything. It's the only reason I moved. For the sake of the lives that had died with me.
You had a chance. After all the death that you experienced, after that fear that throbbed in your chest, you still had a chance. I fear that Sylcan felt that same fear. But there was no chance.
There was. He could have run. He could have surrendered. But he didn't. He died saving a man he didn't know. I mean, he heaves this big hunk of earth. It is more than an honorable death. It is a hero's death. To die for man you will never know. Simply to save them and end the evil deeds. I hope wherever Sylcan goes, he is honored for this deed. And I am happy to know that should I be sent back to the Hells, I will rest assured knowing I will not see him there.
You think that the life that he lived ended on a positive note, that his death was worthwhile.
I think so.
I promise to remember Sylcan as long as this unlife that I have continues. But I ask that you, Brother Helmirk, when I give up this life, promise that you will remember me.
Helmirk kind of puts a hand on his shoulder.
And he goes, I will most definitely remember you.
And they kind of we bury him. And he says,
I think you do yourself discredit. I do not believe your end will be a choice. I think you will either die in battle, or you will have a peaceful night.
he's going to kind of pat your shoulder. And
I know you think yourself a monster, or something broken. I too thought myself that. But do know, anything broken can be remade.
and he's going to walk back to the inn.
As you say that, behind you, you hear the crunching of snow, and as you turn around, you see that Sildor's probably about 20 feet behind, and he's got a coffee kind of mug in one hand and two in his left hand, and he kind of looks down, but then looks back up at you, Helmirk, and goes, I respect the bonds of a party and what that means, but it'll be okay if I join you.
Of course.
Godfrey nods.
And he takes his left hand and kind of extends the other 2 coffee cups to you.
Helmirk is gonna take one of the coffee cups. He's gonna kind of like take off the lower faceplate, and he'll drink from the cup.
Godfrey takes the cup, and knowing that it won't, like, there's no joy in drinking this, he's still gonna drink it.
There's a moment of silence, and Sildar kind of nudges you, Helmirk, with his shoulder and goes, I don't know that we would know nearly as much as we do now if it wasn't for him.
I doubt it. He was. He was insane. But he had a good heart.
Yeah, but he won that. Fuck them. Know what I mean?
Fuck them.
Yeah, I don't think she would have, she'd have never shown us that information. He took
No.
it from her. Why'd you choose to bury him here?
He kind of looks at the forest. I don't think he felt right around people. I think something natural by himself. I think there would be peace in something that isn't fabricated or made.
I'd like to do right by you guys. How can I pay him respect? Would you prefer this to be unmarked? Just you all know.
I think a small grave. Nothing fancy. Just so if anyone knows, they can pay him respect.
I was hoping you'd say that. Consider it done. It's funny, it's easy to find the honor. It's not easy to find the emotion. I've buried too many of my friends. Just kind of happens now.
Helmirk kind of looks.
I am joyed with the fact that I was able to bury this friend. Many of my friends died on battlefields. There were never a chance to retrieve them.
Thank you for giving me this. And he turns around and slowly starts walking back to the inn.
Helmirk's gonna walk with him.
Godfrey just stays back. He is just there looking at the grave. Godfrey would mutter to himself, nodding like he's convincing himself. And he'd say, this death was worth it.
All right, Cohort. The morning is yours. How do you want to spend it?
I think, Helmirk's prepped. I think we just start heading out towards Mirror of Dead Men.
All right.
If someone want to send a message to Strix with all the town abbreviations.
Heck
I don't have all the
That's-
abbreviations for down.
yeah.
I
I'm not
don't
gonna
either,
lie.
but it's less than 25, so
I got
Yeah.
3 of the towns.
I have most of them. I have CRK, PhD, CHY, RSH,
CBY,
CBY, RSH,
CBY,
Yeah,
GLF.
Was gonna get a new one.
We can get him every letter of the alphabet but one, and then he just has to piece them together.
So it's CRK, PhD, CBY, RSH, GLF, TRB, DGF, GHM, LEI. Yeah, that's it.
Alright, I missed 2. That's pretty good. Alright, yeah, we send all that. We say town names.
Yep.
Sylcan, dead.
I will.
Oh, yeah.
You rolled an
it's
18, Lucio, correct?
Oh, actually,
I
I
was-
didn't roll. Can I roll for
Go
like
ahead
when
and
I
make an
was
investigation
copying?
check for me. Yeah.
That is a 19.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Only a +1.
Yeah, it's still, that's one more.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So, I'm gonna say this because of you being in Neverwinter and being educated, taking the time, you would know what these abbreviations are most likely to be. We have Crossroads Keep, we have Phandalin. We know that, right?
Easy.
CBY, and again, reading through the notes and finding pieces of information and trying to match them together, you kind of get, okay, CBY is Coneyberry. That's a small kind of settlement northeast of Phandalin, kind of near Neverwinter Wood. And you kind of cross-reference notes and you see, that it's an overflow relocation site, that it was abandoned. Coneyberry, got it. And then RSH, Ruslantar, that's north of Waterdeep, along the Long Road. You find notes about it being a trade choke point, something that if sort of overtaken could create economic pressure. And there's, again, sifting through, doesn't seem like it's going to be a population target, more of an economic gain. And then also cross-referencing kind of what your father was speaking about and wondering, is he involved in this? Does he know about this? Has this been told to him? He mentioned Crossroads Keep, he mentioned Phandalin. Is he also involved in this? Is this something coming up? GLF, Golden Fields. You get certain notes about that is potentially where they're getting their supplies from. Also, there's notes in there about it being kind of a place of interest as far as influence with religion and logistics. And it seems like there's more of a long-term plan for Golden Fields. TRB is Tribor, so that's the that intersection of Long Road and Tribor Trail. There's talks about future settlement building there. DGF is Daggerford. There are no notes in here about Daggerford yet. But there's a jump here that you realize. There's a lot of small towns and settlements that are being targeted. Daggerford is neither of those. That is a city. This is the first one that you see. and that is until you get to LEI Leland. It kind of escalates from individual sort of shaking experiments to moving into like, we're serious now about like political pliability, long-term influence. There are very quick references, but no details about certain churches. It's very vague, but you catch the whiff of it. The last one is GHM, which is Green Nest. And it's specifically being looked at because it is so faith heavy.
Lucia will probably share this with the group once we're like on the road, not necessarily still back at the tavern.
Gotcha.
Heck yeah, Lucio. Smart guy. Lucio went to college.
I read every single word.
All right, and now we also have the
see-
copies of the documents, right?
Yes, and I
Yeah.
can hide them if
Sweet.
Oh god, we gotta go to Leon.
Yeah, I think it goes with it. I think I've been pretty clear that none of this was supposed to be in your hands.
Yeah.
that
Great
this
job.
is very dangerous information that you have now in your disposal.
Yeah, now we can actually.
We can be
They might
proactive.
actually send a team to stop us.
He might. Stupid.
Well,
We can work their plans now.
Yeah.
they're gonna move on to. We're gonna do this to cities? Daggerford?
Helmirk kind of, as we're riding, nods.
He goes, it's not surprising, but
Yeah.
I am looking forward to killing them. We have yet to face them in open combat. They're cowardly and weak.
We will test their mettle.
I mean, we know Damar is for sure.
Of course.
I look
course
forward
they
to
must.
killing him.
I look forward to watching you kill him.
All right. Yeah, I guess we're just traveling.
All right. Helmirk, using your map and also the note that you found on Inspector Melis, let's go ahead and do, I think for the first time in this camp, well, maybe not. Maybe we didn't. Zephys, give me a survival or nature check.
We did do a
Decide
survival
as a
check.
group
Can
and then roll as a group.
Gotcha.
Roll.
I do remember there being a survival check that we did for tracking.
Are we all rolling together, or are we one
Correct.
person rolling? Okay. All right.
Yeah, pick a skill and then roll and then let me know what that number is.
That is
not good.
a 16 on a survival check. Oh wait, I'm gonna see if I might have survival.
Yeah, it's 14
don't.
survival.
I had a 16 survival.
All right, Jen, what'd you get?
I got a 7.
nice.
7 what?
That 7 in total. 7 survival in total.
Survival. Godfrey?
Dude, you got a 7? That sucks. I got a 7 too.
Survival?
Yeah, survival.
All right. Who's leading the navigation here?
Probably Helmirk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did roll the highest. It would make
Yeah,
sense.
he knows where
He's
we
the one
are.
with the map.
Yeah.
So
Map
yeah,
boy.
cross-referencing the map boy. Wouldn't you like to know weather boy? You leave Phandalin, go up the Tribord Trail, head back, and you look east. You know, probably about 2 hours east is Crossroads Keep. Weird fucking couple of days.
Yep. One
You
more
start
day till
heading
shit hits the
south.
fan.
Boy, oh
Start
boy.
heading south on the high road, and there's an old, kind of narrower, less used, covered up trail, similar to the trails kind of leading to Crossroads Keep. And it's difficult to find. There's no tracks. It just snowed. You're guessing, looking at the two maps. You go, okay, I clearly have a clear layout on the Sword Coast map, and I'm looking at this sketch. It says there's a path here. So we're going on an average of 10, essentially, with everybody's roll. And you're looking for markers. That's how you know, okay, we're off the high road and we're going. There's an old kind of marker that is worn and has not been needed to be replaced decades ago and just never was. It was just forgotten. Nature took over. Okay. And you take that left and you start walking through the shin deep snow.
We're on horses.
You would have gotten your horses. That is correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Okay. So yeah, riding on horseback. In the just dead silence of the Sword Coast. And one of the first markers that you see on the hand-drawn map is an old willow tree. Massive, leaning over this dark, frozen marsh pond. The branches drooped down and frozen in the surface of the water like wet fingers. And the bark is pale and peeling. You know the map is real. The marker matches. Taking the horses, heading through. That's where we'll end tonight's session.
Alright.
All right.